What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to NBA Now from Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, and today I'm breaking down 10 young players that are destined to be NBA stars. Now, here's the criteria. You got to be under 25 years old, and you cannot have made an all-star team in the past. So, guys like Porzingis, he's 22, but he's already made an all-star team. So, let's get right into it. We'll start out with a rookie here. Jamal Murray, the Memphis Grizzlies, the number 2 overall pick in this past year's draft, an absolute stud at Murray State. The Grizzlies hope he's going to be a star, and I believe he will be. Look, he's going to have complete control of this Grizzlies offense, this Grizzlies system that's going to work so well around him as the main ball handler, the main point guard in Memphis. Mike Conley's gone. This is Ja Morant's team, and if he can step up and do what he needs to do, he's going to play into that star role right away. Now, he does have to work on his defense because his slight frame doesn't allow him to be a great NBA defender, but if he puts in work, he'll get there. Now, Murray State, his numbers were ridiculous. 24.5 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 10 assists, and the three-point shooting stepped up in his sophomore year at 36.3%. 24 and 10 assists. That right there, no player in college basketball history, since assists have become an official record, has done that before. 20 and 10 is not a thing, and Ja Morant did it at Murray State in his sophomore year. Now, from the number 2 pick in that 2019 NBA draft, of course I think he's going to be a star. That only makes sense that the number 1 pick in the draft should be a star in Zion Williamson. Heck, that's why he was picked number 1. You don't get picked number 1 and hope to be a pretty good NBA player. No, you're picked number 1 because you're supposed to be an NBA superstar. It didn't work so well for Mr. Anthony Bennett, but look, he was incredible at Duke. I mean, he did amazing things. He's going to be the focal point of this Pelicans offense. You know, they have they have Lonzo Ball, they have Brandon Ingram, they've got other guys in there like Drew Holiday. But it doesn't matter because this whole offense, this whole next year for the Pelicans is going to be about Zion Williamson. Look, if he can shoot the three-pointer consistently in the NBA, which he didn't necessarily do at Duke. He wasn't bad when he was spotting up. But if he can get a consistent three-point shot, I will go on record, and this is on record because it's on YouTube and everything on YouTube stays on YouTube forever, and say he's going to be an MVP candidate one day. I mean, last year, 22.6 points per game, nearly 9 rebounds. All of those points basically came at the rim or near the rim. But the three-point percentage looked okay. It just needs to be a little bit better in the NBA if Zion Williamson wants to be an MVP caliber player at the next level. So it was 1 and 2, back-to-back, Zion to New Orleans, Ja to Memphis. But who's going to be better in the long run? I'm not asking who's going to be a better rookie, because Zion's better suited to have a better rookie year. No doubt about that, based on his NBA body and everything he's got going for him. But who is going to be the better long-term player in the NBA? I think it's going to be Zion, type Z. I think it's going to be Ja, type J. Kind of cool that those back-to-back rookies have pretty cool, easy first names to remember. So, let's go to our next guy. This one's not a rookie. He's going to be a second-year guy, Trey Young. I thought this guy was going to be a bust in the NBA. I'll say it. I did not like the pick at 5 for Atlanta when it happened, when they made the trade for Trey Young, which of course involved Luka Doncic. But he was a star, or not quite a star, he was a stud, I should say. He came second overall in Rookie of the Year voting. His problem was, and I think what held him back from really getting to that top spot, despite Luka Doncic being so amazing, was the fact that he came out of the gates really slow. He did not have a great start to his rookie season, and that's kind of what hurt his efficiency and hurt his numbers overall. Look, 19 points per game and 8 assists is ridiculous. In fact, those 8 assists got him top 5 in the NBA. Not just top 5 among rookies, top 5 in the NBA in assists per game. But that three-point percentage at 32.4 for a guy that's supposed to be a three-point shooter is what holds him back. Now, let's say he comes in the league next year. He's about 40% from 3. Trey Young's going to be a superstar. Let's move on. Lauri Markkanen of the Chicago Bulls. Now, last year, everybody kind of expected Markkanen to be that next star, the next go-to guy in Chicago, but injuries held him back, kept him from being all that he can be, took him out of a few games, quite a few actually, nearly half the season. Had he been healthy, I don't think we'd be allowed to have him on this list because I think he would have made the All-Star team in the East last season. I expect him to do that next year. I expect him to be 110% fully healthy with the Chicago Bulls. I'm really excited about Lauri Markkanen. I'm really excited about what he can become. He's a three-point shooter. He can play the 4. He can play a little bit of the 5 if you want to go undersized. He can attack the basket. Defense isn't quite there, but it's coming around, and he's still ridiculously young. Last year, in that limited time that he got, 18.7 points per game. He got 9 rebounds for a big man that's not real aggressive. That's really, really good. The assists weren't there because that's not what he does. He doesn't assist. He doesn't distribute the ball. But his three-point percentage at 36% was solid, okay? I love Lauri Markkanen, and I love what he brings to this Bulls team, especially with guys like Zach LaVine and Otto Porter and all of them. I mean, Lauri Markkanen is going to be the focal point of the offense, and that's why he's going to be a star. Because one day, he'll be on an all-star team. Now I got a question for you. Are you a true NBA fan? I mean, do you love the NBA? You eat, sleep, and breathe it like I do. Well, if you are, then I'm assuming you're already subscribed to youtube.com/chatsportstv, because all the true NBA fans are. Because from the beginning of the offseason, and now we're kind of dwindling down near the end, we've got everything covered all day, every day. And if you're not subscribed, you've missed out on all the best coverage of the NBA right here on Chat Sports. So hit the red button. You're watching us on YouTube. Get it done. Get our subscriber count up. Make sure you're tuned in every single time. youtube.com/chatsportstv. Keep it rolling here. Another kind of big man, power forward type guy, Pascal Siakam. 2018-19, he won the Most Improved Player of the Year award for a really good reason because he became the second best player on that Toronto Raptors team behind Kawhi Leonard. Well, guess what? Kawhi Leonard's not there anymore. He's over in LA in the sunshine out of Canada. Pascal Siakam, he's ready to step up and be that go-to player for the Toronto Raptors. Because Kawhi's gone and because Siakam still has room to grow, I think he's going to be an all-star in the very near future, if not next season. I think he should be next season because the Raptors are still a solid team, and now the team is building around Pascal Siakam. 17 points per game and 7 rebounds from your power forward that can shoot 37%. That's impressive. This doesn't even mention the fact, it doesn't come up in the box score, that Pascal Siakam is becoming an elite wing defender as well. He can defend power forwards in the post, and he can defend smaller forwards on the wing. I'm a big Pascal Siakam believer. I'm drinking all the Kool-Aid. Now, I think Siakam's going to be a first-time All-Star next year. I think a lot of these guys on this list will be. But what players do you think will be first-time All-Stars next season? Let me know in the comment section. You can name as many or as few as you want to, but let me know if you agree with me on these 10, or maybe you got some more that I didn't mention here. Now, Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets. Look, the dude got a 5-year, $170 million contract extension, so you know that the Denver Nuggets are hoping this guy is going to turn into a future star. And Denver needs that. I mean, they really do, because they got Nikola Jokic, who already made an all-star team. He's already ready to go. But they don't have that second star next to him quite yet. Jamal Murray's getting there. He's probably their second, actually not probably, he is their second best player. They need him to be a star. They need him to step up, and I think he will be. He's got all the tools to do it. He's got the right team around him to do it, and he's got the numbers to prove that he has a solid starting point for it. 18 points per game. That's pretty good. 4 rebounds per game. That's better than expected for a point guard. Now those assist numbers. 4.8. I think he can get those up. I think if you're passing to guys like Nikola Jokic and some shooters like Gary Harris or Will Barton, those numbers should go up in Denver. And when they do, Jamal Murray will fall into that NBA star category. Now, do you like playing with these stars in NBA 2K? Because I sure do. NBA 2K is my game. You get me on Xbox, you're going to get beat. I'm just saying. But if you want a copy of NBA 2K20 that comes out September 6th for free, all you got to do is sign up and deposit with our partner at MyBookie. You put down $50, they're going to give you $50 for free. You just got to place that first bet. After you do that, email us, promo@chatsports.com, and we'll get you hooked up with your free copy of NBA 2K20 so you can play with all the future stars in 2K. Look, if you have any trouble setting it up, just DM me on Twitter. I'll help you get it going. Now let's keep moving here. Boston Celtics, Jayson Tatum. Last year was supposed to be the year that he stepped into true stardom. He didn't really do that. In fact, he might have even taken a couple steps back. He needs to avoid that next step backward in year 3, or else he's going to be in trouble and the Celtics are going to be in trouble. I think next season he'll have an even bigger role because it's Kemba Walker, it's Jaylen Brown, and Jayson Tatum. There's no more Kyrie Irving. There's no more Al Horford there. He needs to be better. I think he will be. I mean, look, respectable numbers, no doubt about that, especially for a second-year guy. 15.7 points per game is good. The three-point percentage is good. But it's not what Celtic fans expected. It's not even what NBA fans expected. I think this next year, his numbers need to kind of trickle more into that 20-point per game range, because if he can do that, if he can get closer to that 20 points per game, Boston will be a true Eastern Conference Finals threat. I think they hope he can be their best player. I know they signed Kemba Walker. They gave him all the money. He's probably their best player right now. But next season, this next coming season, will Jayson Tatum be Boston's best player? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Boston hopes so, but I don't think he will be. But let me know what you think in the comments section. Donovan Mitchell of the Utah Jazz, he has elevated this team to another level, and I think this guy still has another level he can get to himself. If and when he does that, Utah is going to be a true NBA final threat. I really do believe that. He's an elite athlete. We've seen that in the dunk competition, in his putback jams. I mean, he's ridiculous. Attacking the basket, there's no question about it. But his three-point shot could still take another step forward. That's where I think he needs to step it up just a little bit. I would say distributing and maybe passing could take a step up, but it's not really needed as much anymore because Mike Conley's their point guard, so it's not that big of a deal. All that they need Mitchell to do is when it's clutch time, he takes over, and when Conley finds him open on the wing, he knocks down a three-point shot. 36% is good. It's not NBA star level. I think he can be a little bit better. Now, one guy that has no trouble knocking down a three-pointer is Devin Booker. I mean, there are no questions about his three-point game, about his shooting, about his offensive game. His biggest question mark to become an NBA star, the biggest hurdle he needs to get over, is can he actually carry a team? Because we've seen that he's a go-to player. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt that he is an elite offensive talent. But can he carry a team? Because this Phoenix team has been at the bottom of the barrel his entire career, and they will continue to be. Now, offensively, he puts up ridiculous numbers, 26 points per game. Now, you see the three-point percentage is definitely down, but it's because he's taken so many of them. Because he is the Suns' only source of offense outside of a guy like DeAndre Ayton. Now, they hope that changes this next season, and there's some guys that step up around him, and maybe he doesn't have to take as many shots. Maybe 26 points per game comes down, but the efficiency goes way up. That efficiency goes up, and he shows that he can carry a team. This guy is going to be a star. Here we go. Luka Doncic. You know I had to put him on here. You know he was the one that you hadn't heard yet that you were just waiting for. He won Rookie of the Year last season, and he won it for a darn good reason, because he was the best rookie. In fact, he was better than some of the non-rookies in the NBA as well. Look, if he avoids that sophomore slump that so many second-year guys are prone to, he's going to be an all-star. He's going to be a Western Conference all-star this next season. But really, it's all about can he take the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA playoffs? Obviously, he's got some help next season coming in with Kristaps Porzingis to really elevate his game and elevate the team's play. But if he puts these numbers up, like every year of his career at 21 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, rookie numbers we haven't seen since Oscar Robertson, he's going to be ridiculous. In fact, I will say this, he's going to be an MVP. I truly believe one day Luka Doncic will be an MVP in the NBA. So the question for me is not if, but when will Luka Doncic win his first MVP? Let me know what you think in the comment section.